Everyone, this is Saurabh Maurya and welcome you all in Linguality Capital. Dear friends, today we have the new topic of the linguistics, that is psycholinguistics. In this lecture, I will discuss the introduction to psycholinguistics. Especially, I would like to tell you that I will discuss the introduction to psycholinguistics in its two parts. This is the first part of the introduction to psycholinguistics. In my first part, I will discuss the what is the psycholinguistics, about its definition, about the introduction. Next, I'll talk about the scope of the psycholinguistics, what is the tacit knowledge, what is the explicit knowledge, and also what is the guardian path sentence. The term guardian path sentence is very important term with the exam points of view. Next, we talk about the language in aphasia, means what happens when we got an injury in our brain, in our mind, and we have issue with during or regarding pronunciations of the words or any sentence. Next, we will talk about the language in children, and that's all. So let's have start the term psycholinguistics. When do I talk about psycholinguistics, that what is psycholinguistics? The term psycholinguistics was first coined, yeah, we can also say first used by J.R. J.R. Cantor. J.R. Cantor. The term psycholinguistics was first used by J.R. Cantor in 1936 in his book An Objective Psychology of Grammar. Okay, who is J.R. Cantor? At first, we should know that J.R. Cantor was born in 8th of the August in 1888 in Harrisburg. He was a prominent American psychologist who was pioneered as a naturalistic systems in psychology called interbehavioral psychology or interbehaviorism. He was the first person to use the term psycholinguistics in his book An Objective Psychology of Grammar, which was published in 1936. Okay, what is psycholinguistics? Psycholinguistics means with the name we can guess here, we can understand that when we differ or when we break down the term psycholinguistics in two parts, psycho plus linguistics, whereas psycho means mind and linguistics means the study of the language. So we can say here that the term psycholinguistics explores the relationship between language and mind. Next, we talk about how psycholinguistics explores the relationship between language and mind. Actually, here we have the three special terms that are used to explore the language and mind. First one is your language comprehension. Second one is your language production. And third one is your language acquisition. What is language comprehension? Language comprehension means that when a person or when an individual perceive or understand the speech and the written language that comes under the language comprehension. Next, we talk about what is language production. Language production means is that how do we construct an utterances from idea to complete sentence. That is all about the language production. And language acquisition is very simple term, means how the children acquire the language that comes under the language acquisition. Next, we have the introduction, that how we assume the psycholinguistics. When we discuss the psycholinguistics, means that when we talk about a new baby, right, newborn baby or an infant baby, when there is an infant baby, then we can say here that we do not guess anything. What does that baby wants to me? When does he smile? Then we think that he is now fine. But when he weeps, then we think that he must have some issue in his health or something else. So here we can say that when an infant cry and laugh, and their facial expressions surely give their parents some notion of the kinds of the emotions they are experiencing. But it is not until children are able to articulate speech that we gain much understanding of their private thoughts. What is going on in that? What is going on in the thoughts of that baby? We do not understand completely. Actually, that baby knows much more what does he expresses by his face. But let's have an example like that. When if there is an infant or when there is a newborn baby, if he is smiling, then there is no any issue. We just think that yeah, really he is a happy baby. But when he weeps, then we give a doll. Suppose that if we take a doll and give to that baby, then he doesn't say mama or papa, amma, I are died or mom, yeah, something like that. But he else say that doll, something like that. Means what does he get from his parents? He only name of that particular thing. So we can say that in the same way there is the language acquisitions, language productions, language compression. All these processes are involved in that process. Next, we talk about what is the scope of the psycholinguistics. Psycholinguistics is a part of the emerging field of the study that is called the cognitive science. Cognitive science is an interdisciplinary field or venture that draws upon the insights of the psychologist. Means we can say that the term psycholinguistics is not only the term that are involved with single. Within the psycholinguistics, there are also the neurolinguistics and psychology are involved with the cognitive science. Okay. Next, we have the term what is tacit and explicit knowledge. Tacit knowledge means something that whatever do we use the term, what do we say to anyone, means if I say to you I'm gonna to play the football, so this is the my tacit knowledge that I said this word that I'm going to play the football. But what are the mechanisms that are used to say this word? Whatever the process are that are going in our mind to explore these sentences or to state these sentences, that is known as the explicit knowledge. Means we can say that tacit knowledge means is that knowledge of how to perform the various acts, whereas when we talk about the explicit knowledge refers to the knowledge of the process or mechanisms that are used in these acts. There are some various of broad areas of the language knowledge that are that are distinguished the psycholinguistics, that is semantics, syntax, phonology and pragmatics. Already we have discussed this, that semantics deals with the meaning of the sentence and the words, while syntax deals with the or involves the grammatical arrangement of the words within the sentence, while phonology concerns the system of the sounds in a language, and pragmatics entails the social rules involved in language use. Okay, next we have the new term that is garden path sentence. The term garden path sentence is the very important term with the exam perspectives. Okay, so the term garden path sentence was first given by Thomas Thomas Weaver. What is the garden path sentence? Garden path sentence means that a sentence that we already spoke, but we think about the sentence and we think that there might be something correct from this. Like that, if I say an example like open the door, open the door. Suppose that if I say that open the door, but when do I stresses or give to our notions that open the door is the right form or the wrong form? Actually, this is the right, but here maybe something else. The garden path sentence means is that what happens when we comprehend a sentence. Means we get a hint of what is involved when the process breaks down, and any original form, yeah, original interpretation and reinterpret the sentence. Means there might be that can you open the door, can you open the door, means that here we have just taken the two major sentences. First, open the door, and second one is that can you open the door. In these two sentences, both the sentences are the right, I mean correct, but here when if I say only open the door, then this is the correct form, but when do I stresses give the stresses to our notions, then can there be something else or not, then here may be also an indirect request, that is can you open the door, means is that any original interpretation and after that reinterpret the sentence, that is also known as the backtrack. Backtrack means first give the original interpretation and after that reinterpret the same sentence. Next, we talk about language in aphasia. This is the very important, very broader term of the neurolinguistics. Here we will discuss in a basic form that what is language in aphasia. Language in aphasia means is that an aphasia is a language disorder due to the brain damage, and it is one of the type of the aphasia that is one case aphasia involved in a breakdown in the semantics. When we have the some issue that in pronunciating any of the sentences, in the meaning of the any sentences, then that causes actually we have Broca's aphasia or Wernicke's aphasia. Okay, so if we have the issue in pronunciating these sentences or in understanding the meaning, then that comes under the Wernicke's aphasia. Aphasia means is that the damage of the brain of the any part is known as the aphasia. That comes under the aphasia. The term aphasia especially we study in the neurolinguistics, where is the neurolinguistics is the study of the interrelationship, relationship between the brain and the language, that is called the neurolinguistics. Next, we have another term which is language in children. Actually, we have a major two kind of the words. First is the function words, which is also known as the closed class words, and next we have the open class, or we can say the content words. The child actually may have learned some pragmatic rules to guide her choice of the words. Like if I talk about the function words, then there are part of the speech like prepositions, conjunctions, and so on. And we have next the content words, then that is the noun, verbs, and the adjectives. What are the role of these function words and the content words? Actually, when do I talk about the language in children, children never interpret and never operate the whole sentences. If he say that just he need a toffee, then he doesn't say that I want to toffee. He said only just he indicates and he give the name of the toffee, I mean direct object. Okay, so the children especially you, they have the some pragmatic rules in their mind that guide her choice of the words. Next, one of the important thing that the manner in which parents shape their children's utterances was described by the behaviorist B.F. Skinner in 1957 in his book Verbal Behavior. Verbal Behavior is very important book, and this is very interesting book of the psycholinguistics. Okay, so this was all from the today. If you feel good, then do not forget to subscribe and share this video. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you so much.